here's a really good way to help you ground yourself in understanding the difference between the lower work and the higher work. If you were to look at a model like spiral dynamics, or maybe like a Ken Wilber model or something, you'll notice that at some point, the stages that spiral upwards actually change. These were all tier 1 stages of development, conventional stages, but then at some point, it jumps. It makes kind of like a quantum leap. And this is called tier 2. So consider all the work that you know about, all the things that you see around that people are doing. This is lower work. This is tier 1, right? Tier 1 consciousness even. But what we are interested in, what we are, really drawn to is tier 2 development and consciousness. And we could call this the higher work. This is what we are doing. This is what we are evolving to. It's very rare to see this. I want you to appreciate this, man. Most people have probably never talked about this to you. Most people have probably never discussed this with you. This is very rare to be talked about, let alone to be introduced to formally. You now understand for the rest of your life that there is a higher work, and this is our work. What you're going to do with this is 2 things. Number 1 is you are going to magnetize yourself for higher work and higher consciousness, people, teachers, and resources. I want you to actually become magnetic, to have these things be attracted to you and you to be attracted to them. I want you to actually become a tier 2 person, someone who actually can break into those tier 2 stages of, for example, on spiral dynamics, it's spiral dynamics stage yellow and spiral dynamics stage turquoise. If you don't know what this means, read up on spiral dynamics and watch some videos on spiral dynamics. Really, really useful, man. But this is to honor the higher work. Yes, we're not going to go backwards. We're only going forwards. We're only going upwards, and we're only becoming deeper. Yes. Now, number 2, the second thing I want you to do with this is I actually want you to do the higher work. So notice, as I've mentioned earlier, man, everyone's doing the lower work. You've done the lower work your whole life, but now you have an opportunity. And that is to, again, actually break into the higher work and these tier 2 stages and states of consciousness. Again, it's not going to be clear to begin with, but this is more of an introductory video to say, dude, concern yourself with the higher work and just really make this distinction super clear in your mind. You have the lower work that most people will be doing, that is what most people understand as the work. Well, they don't even realize they're doing the work. They're just probably living on autopilot, aren't they, man? But because you're a conscious person, you know that this higher work exists. You know, you can feel it. You know, you've known about it probably for a while intuitively, but this is me literally letting you know, like it exists. And I actually want you to do it because I'm doing it and my brother Faizan is doing it. And this is our work. So I hope it's clear to you that with this higher work, you are going to be transforming your consciousness and you're going to be investing into your own self, life, and being. The more you do the higher work, the more you will be led by spirit. And this is the only way it can be. We must grow and expand our consciousness to literally break into these tier 2 states and stages. And then we will be guided by the spirit. Once you feel spirit, you will see that this is the only way it can be. You've got to start with spirit. And I understand, you've got to evolve first to be able to even experience spirit. You've got to purify yourself. You've got to practice spirituality. You've got to do manual spiritual practice. But then, when you start to feel the fruits of the higher work, you can actually continue doing your lower work. I mean, again, there's no real, Yeah, there is a duality, but there's no tension. Both the lower work and the higher work exist. That's like saying, the flesh and the spirit exist. Like, it's both. It's always going to be that way. And really, you've got to be careful not to demonize the lower work, because the lower work is perfect. You just got to make sure that you are aware of and pursuing the higher work, because then you can be led by spirit, and then you can do what's known as the real work, or even the great work, which we will talk about soon. So I hope this helps, or you remember that, you're here for this purpose, man. You're here to evolve and to start doing this higher work. And if you're not sure what that is, look at this channel. Look at high consciousness spiritual teachers and people, and look at the work they're doing. What are the common themes? What kind of work one must do to actually feel their being, to become aware of themselves as God, to become aware of what anything is. The higher work is deep, and so we're not going to go any more into it today, but, really just know that this is where it's at, man. Yeah. Okay, my friend. I hope this has helped you. We're going to wrap things up here. Lots of love. Take care, man. And as always, peace.